I learned a lot of things from magic, not just as in magic per se, but I learned a lot of things about life from magic, about social dynamics, about human nature, about business, about a lot of things. To me, magic was one of the most fulfilling experience I've had in my life, and quite honestly, I took magic seriously when I was a kid, all the way into my 20s. But then I decided to quit that dream and stop trying to become a professional magician for reasons that I'm not going to get into right now. However, I did learn a lot of great lessons from magic, and I'm going to tell you what I learned. First of all, of course, I started magic as a kid because it was amazing to me. I mean, doing something that looks completely impossible was just so appealing and so attractive. And of course, it also feeds my ego. Being able to do something that nobody else can do is attractive, you know? I wanted to be that guy. I wanted to be someone who can do something that nobody else can do. I wanted to differentiate myself from everybody else. I wanted to be the special kid, the special guy who can do unique, special things. And coming from a culture that didn't believe in magic as an art form, it was kind of difficult because people in my culture only believed in black magic, as in when they see David Copperfield or when they see Chris Angel, they think it's black magic and it has something to do with devil worship and all that kind of stuff. And of course, that's not true. However, to me, magic, like I've said, it was my path to, at the time, I thought of it as my path to fame and wealth. And it did make me famous at the time, although I didn't become wealthy because of magic, because I believe the environment where I grew up didn't have the show business infrastructure upon which I can forge a career in magic. However, like I've said, I did learn a lot of things about magic. And one of the things that I learned is that becoming the center of attention through doing something, whether it's magic or music or being an interesting storyteller, it is incredibly fulfilling, and it really helps you to connect with a lot of people, and it's gonna help you both socially and professionally. And by socially, I mean knowing a lot of people, having a lot of contacts, and of course, when it comes to dating, a lot of girls will look at you. And professionally, as you know more people, or if you want to pursue magic as a career, if you are in the right environment, a lot of people would want you to come to their events and perform those miracles. So being the center of attention in a social event is incredibly benefiting, and it's incredibly fulfilling as well. Benefiting and also fulfilling, because it just makes you the star of the show. And it's just an amazing feeling. It's an addictive feeling. I think a lot of magicians, they become magicians because once they perform their first trick and they see the reaction of people, they just get addicted to it. I mean, David Blaine in his special Street Magic in 1992, it was the first time that the camera shifted the attention from the magician, from the magic itself, into the reaction of the audience. And that was revolutionary at the time. So when you do something that makes people amazed and they admire you, it's addictive. You want to always provide people with that feeling, and you want to always get the feeling of being admired and being respected and being looked up to. So magic gave me that. So being the center of attention is incredibly fulfilling, and you should really develop some kind of skill that will make you the center of attention wherever you go, whether it's magic, like I've said, or storytelling, or anything else. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I learned from magic is becoming social. Like I've said, I was an introverted kid. I was extremely shy when I was a kid. And if I wanted to become a good magician, if I want to perform in front of people, I have to be social. At least I have to overcome my fear of doing something in front of people who are watching you. Because when you are an introverted person, you try to avoid being the center of attention, basically. You try to avoid that. That's why a lot of introverted guys, they go into nerdy, yes, they are nerdy, but I mean, I do some of them, but like nerdy jobs that do not require any social skills, like coding, like design, basically computer jobs. So you just work on your computer and that's it. Whereas if you want to pursue magic, you have to develop some kind of social intelligence. You have to develop some kind of social awareness and social skills. And so I decided that I have to become socially intelligent. I have to work on my social skills. And I did that. And actually, it was one of the most, it was actually learning magic and performing magic wasn't hard as trying to perform and trying to talk to people in the streets, strangers, to perform magic to. Because like I've said in one of my old videos, I wanted to create the first street magic, especially in Morocco at the time. And so I started doing magic, street magic, and I would take my camera with a friend and I would go and talk to strangers in the streets and ask them if they want to see a magic trick. And that was, let me tell you, it's like trying to talk with beautiful girls in the streets, trying to approach a girl. It's extremely difficult when you try to do it for the first time. And it pushed me to really to embrace rejection, as it were. I did a video on rejection before. So it pushed me to embrace rejection and to just go and talk to people, and it doesn't matter if they are willing to accept my offer or not. So magic helps me to develop my social skills. It helps me to develop my social skills, although there is there is a drawback, there is a, what's the word I'm looking for? There is something bad that happens when you learn magic. A lot of guys who learn magic, they try to hide behind the magic itself. When they go to a social event, all they do is they perform magic. And once the magic is done, they can't really have a conversation. So basically they turn into dancing monkeys, and that's not good. You learn magic, it's your first step. For example, for me, you learn magic or anything else, music or storytelling or anything. Once you learn a certain skill that is admired by people, a certain skill that requires some kind of showmanship, once you learn that skill, you have to learn the social skills that will make you smooth before performance and after performance. Because like I've said, a lot of guys, a lot of nerdy guys, a lot of geeky guys, a lot of introverted guys, like myself, I'm an introverted guy. We go into magic because we want to overcome our introversion. But then a lot of guys, they end up hiding behind the magic itself, and they never develop their social skills. They never develop their conversational skills. They never develop their ability to become good storytellers. They never become good speakers like I'm doing right now. They just do magic. They have no pattern, no presentation. They just focus on the gimmicks, on the cards, and whatever. And it's not as good. It's not as good. Even in terms of just performance. If you are a good performer, you have to include storytelling and good presentation in your magic. If you just do tricks with, robotic pattern, like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do this, and there is no presentation, there is no story behind the trick, there is no theme behind the effect itself, it's not as interesting. It's not as interesting. So I learned to be social from magic. Magic pushed me to be social, and then it pushed me to become a better social being, to work on my conversation, to work on my social skills, to work on my storytelling abilities, to work on my public speaking skills, and to work on my writing as well. All of these things were just me trying to become a better performer, a better magician. So think of whatever you like, whether it's magic or writing or music, I don't know, sports. You still need to become a good speaker. You still need to become a good conversationalist. You still need to become a good socializer, if I might say. So yeah, becoming social. I learned to become better at social skills from magic. The third thing that I learned is that you have to, like I've just said before, you have to become interesting without being a dork, without being a geek. Like I've said, the guys who hide behind the magic tricks, yes, what they do is interesting, but they are still geeky, they are still introverted, they are still dorky because they can't hold a conversation after the performance. They can't talk to many people. They can only perform and then they go back to their uninteresting selves. Sure, maybe you have some bad days, maybe you are not in the mood to talk, but if you go to a social event, you want to be able to socialize, you want to be able to build social proof, you want to be able to get to know as many people as possible, because that will help you, like I've said, professionally and socially. So learn how to be interesting without being a dork. A dork or a geek is someone who excels at one thing. Maybe he is good at magic, at sleight of hand. Maybe he is good at the pool table. Maybe he is good. He is only good at one thing. He sucks when it comes to social skills. He sucks in everything else. He has no interesting stories, no adventurous stories to tell, no playfulness, none of that stuff. He is boring, but he's got one thing going on for him, and that is the thing that he does for a living, or maybe as a hobby. Like some guys are actually into, like they are software developers and they do magic on the side, or vice versa. So you have to learn how to be interesting through that thing that you choose to do, but without being a dork. In other words, you have to learn how to be a good socializer, how to be a good conversationalist, and how to be a good public speaker, and how to be an interesting person, basically. So yeah, you want to be the guy who is known for something and respected for something. Like I've said, it doesn't matter what it is. A magician, a musician, a DJ, a writer, a speaker, an athlete. It doesn't matter what it is. You want to be known and respected for something, and then you want to expand your skills into other areas. Like I've said, you don't want to be the dork. You don't want to be the geek. You don't want to be someone who is a dancing monkey when it comes to being a musician or a magician. You want to be interesting. You want to be a well-rounded person with a variety of skills, both social, technical, and both social and technical. So yeah, that's what I learned from magic, and I think my lessons from magic, I think they can be applied to everything else. Look at what you are into, look at what you like, what's your hobby, develop it, nurture it, but even trying to make money out of it as well. But you have to work on your soft skills. You have to work on your public speaking. You have to work on your social skills. You have to work on your conversationalism, your ability to be a good conversationalist. And you have to be a well-rounded person. Don't be someone who excels at just one thing. Don't be a specialist, be a generalist. You want to be good at many things. So yeah, that's all I have to say in this video. Let me guys know what you think in the comments below. I would love to hear your story. I would love to hear your feedback, and see you in the next video. Take care.